Hello, dear Wasabikas. We're today here talking with Adam and Yahya about the current state of Wasabi Wallet, the near future, and especially about the long-term future, about what happens actually after the 2.0. And yeah, here uh, in the video, you can see a board where we actually have laid out some of the plans. Um, but yeah, first, Adam, how about you give us like quick introduction about what is the current state of Wasabi Wallet and what is expected in the near future?
Sure, you want to start with the future right away? You know what? Let me start with this thing that the people are seeing in front of them, which is the Beyond Wasabi Wallet 2.0 graph. I guess I've been I've been creating this graph for a long time now, and it's always changing. So whatever we are talking about right now is probably not going to be like that in the future. But for now, just to have an idea of what's going on in the further future of Wasabi, then this is a good prediction, so to say.
Mm-hmm. All right. But yeah, how about we start first about like what are we actually working on right now with the Wasabi wallet and what is the 2.0 like what will it be when it's done? Let's then focus on the what happens after that.
Hmm. You know what? Let's start with Wasabi Wallet 1.2.
All
Wasabi
right.
Wallet 1.2 was created to enable private usage of Bitcoin for a light wallet. It was the first light wallet that did this. The first wallet that enabled private usage of Bitcoin is called Joy Market, and Wasabi was the one that made it possible for light wallets too. Now, this is a very very small goal, you know, um, that that enable private usage of Bitcoin. So we did that, but there are other things to contend with, like conven like speed of transactions, speed of privacy, cost of privacy, and some limitations that Wasabi 1.2 has, even regarding the accessibility of privacy or the waste that it creates. So, so that's what Wasabi Wallet 2.0 is tackling. For there are around five main differences between Wasabi 1.0 and Wasabi 2.0. Um, the first difference is that with Wasabi 2.2, with Wasabi 1.2, there is a minimum amount that someone can participate in the coin joins. And this minimum amount is zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. So the difference between Wasabi 1.2 and Wasabi 2.0 is that in Wasabi 2.0, there is no such minimum amount. Anyone can participate in the coin joins. Another limitation of Wasabi 1.2 that it was using Chaumian coin joins, which I worked out in 2017, and some other people before me in 2012. Killer Storm on Bitcoin Talk, and in 2013, Gregory Maxwell also on Bitcoin Talk. So, and anyhow, there is a better way to do coin joins, which is, without going into the details, is the generalization of Chaumian coin joins. We did this research and we called this Wasabi. With Wasabi, now we can be much more flexible about the input and output amounts. So so that's another difference. And with that power that we have with Wasabi 2.0's Wasabi coin join technology, with that power we were able to build coin joins. Those are at least 10, maybe 100. We don't know yet because it's not rolled out and we don't know how many users will behave, but it's a 10, it's multiple, maybe even multiple order of magnitude improvements upon the costs those incurred in Wasabi 1.0 compared to Wasabi 2.0. What I'm trying to go here is that Wasabi 2.0 enabled private usage of Bitcoin by default, effortlessly, cheaper than previously it was possible, and better than previously it was possible. So that's all about Wasabi 2.0. But we have a number of problems. Actually, there is only one more problem that needs to be tackled in Bitcoin privacy, which is the privacy of the Lightning Network. So we could work on this line to integrate Lightning Network, and before that even figure out how to do it privately. But I would suggest that we should not yet go down this line, but rather we should increase the accessibility of the software. So what do I mean by that? There are a number of things. Those are pretty obvious about Wasabi Wallet. One is that it's English. So localization to different languages is important because not everyone is speaking English. Also, Wasabi 2.0 is still a desktop wallet. It can be used on Linux, Mac, and Windows, but it's still a desktop wallet. And we can make it for mobile, given that no other mobile wallet will sufficiently implement privacy technologies, then we will definitely come out with mobile versions, Android and iOS. So, and the last thing is hardware wallets. The best way to currently the best practice to use your Bitcoin is through hardware wallets. Now, hardware wallets cannot coin join currently. Still with Wasabi 2.0, it won't be possible. But we can do a number of things there. Well, first of all, we should definitely work on making hardware wallets coin join able, coin join capable. But we can also do some other things that, making hardware wallets coin join capable, it requires a bunch of coordination with the hardware wallet merchants, and sometimes they might not even be interested in it at all. So for those hardware wallets who will not become coin join capable hardware wallets, we can at least simulate the experience to an extent that we just reduce the number of clicks. The user will have to create a temporary hot wallet that sends some funds there and automatically send it back to the hardware wallet. So we can still help a lot lot there, even without native CoinJoin hardware wallet integrations. So that's what these are the topics that I would focus on most personally. But there is another other other side here, which is so far Wasabi Wallet is and will be for a while a customer-facing business. But CoinJoins aren't only useful for end users; it can be also useful for businesses. So we could work on a couple of integrations, RPC, daemon, library release, tutorials, guides for developing on top of Wasabi. We can do a lot of things. It's not entirely clear what businesses need. There are like very different needs, it seems. Um, but anyhow, so we can also go down that direction. And there is also, maybe let me finish with this, is that in Wasabi 2.2 you're paying a 0.3% fixed coordinator fee for coin joins. And 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 there are some circumstances when you don't have to pay for this 0.3%. For example, when you're remixing or when you got back one hop change, or when you got money from your friend who is a Wasabi user. Because and this is what I wanted to point out, that your friends don't have to you don't have to pay for mixing your coins, those you got from your friends who are also Wasabi users. And what this would mean is that if we could penetrate nearly the whole or a large part of the Bitcoin network with coin joins, that would make Bitcoin anonymous, and then every single transaction would be one hop from coin joins. So we wouldn't end up being a gatekeepers on the flow of money. So anyway, I think that's a very exciting vision, and we can make Bitcoin anonymous by that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like it is a really exciting vision. Overall, like it would incentivize people that care about privacy to use Wasabi Wallet and to actually prefer receiving coins that come from Wasabi Wallet coin joins, because they wouldn't have to pay extra coordinator fees or like any coordinator fees anymore at that point. Only the transaction fees that the Bitcoin network demands.
Yep, it's a discount on fungible coins, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's like an interesting thought overall. Like discount on fungible coins, like that would kind of mean that we are differentiating or enabling people to differentiate between coins that come from Wasabi that are fungible in the sense that they are private. I'm not sure if like if they are actually fungible. Like that would make a different distinction between the coins that are not from Wasabi and those that are. So that would mean that it's not fungible. But then again, this is the point that I made in some other conversation and call, like if fungibility is actually even the thing that we are looking for. But yeah, that's another topic. Overall, yeah, do you have any comments about this, Yahya, or questions? Maybe we should focus on one by one and all of these things. Oh, okay. Yahya actually seemed to have left already. But yeah, like, can you tell me a little bit about, let's go first into the maintenance. Like, let's dive in a little bit deeper. What is under maintenance and what do you actually mean?
So, as as we've started developing Wasabi and have been doing it for 4 or 5 years now, one thing
Adam, I think you got cut off.
that I realized is that, and no matter,
I think you got cut off. Yeah, you have the red triangle of death on top of your picture. Can you start over?
as I was developing Wasabi for a number of years, one thing became clear to me, which is that this software is never finished, and there is always something to improve, and even like relatively significant things to improve, like how fast the wallet is, some giving some better user experience, or tweak something on the coin join algorithms. So the maintenance signifies that we are probably have to leave a lot of manpower behind just to keep maintaining the existing wallet infrastructure. So that's what it would mean.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, that all seems clear. Should we jump into marketing?
Yep. So when you're creating value for other people, so you want to exchange that value for something else that you seek. Usually it's money, but value creation, which is building a product, is not the only thing that you have to do, but you also have to tell other people about that product, and that is what marketing means to me. And 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 how do we do that? Well, we tried a lot of things, with smaller and larger success, but I'm not quite sure how will marketing look like for Wasabi in the future. And all I wanted to do is to put that big note to myself that marketing is not something to be forgotten about, even if you don't know exactly how that will happen. Uh, it has a place on my board, on my whiteboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's understandable. I actually used to have like a negative connotation to the word marketing before I read the uh, Walter Block's book, the section about marketing. That actually turned it completely upside down for me. And I think like the main point uh, would be that it's not just about like letting people know about the wallet, but it's actually like uh, trying to get people to also like use a non-custodial private oriented wallets. So like overall, if every single Bitcoin user is actually using some custodial services like Coinbase or whatever, like Bitcoin probably won't be able to provide the change that many of us actually want to. So overall, it means just promoting self-sovereignty and self-custody and promoting privacy tools overall.
Well,
But
first
yeah,
of all, Waterbook is awesome. I also read Defending the Undefendable and the marketing chapter of it. It was interesting. Okay, so you're asking about the general user tendency of not only not caring about their own privacy, but also not caring about their own security. So they are not gonna hold their keys, and and it's impossible to get them to use things privately, right? And how are we how are we trying to change that, right? That's the big question. So, well, I one thing is clear to me, that the product must be as good as the custodial counterpart of the product, and and that's often not true, but it it can come very close. Non-custodial Bitcoin user experience can come very close, and when the freedom convoy goes out in Canada and they wanna freeze their Bitcoin exchange accounts, they are going to do that. And when they did that to you once, that's your learning experience. That's going to be the time that you're moving your Bitcoin off exchanges to Bitcoin wallets, unhosted wallets, as they like to call it, or non-custodial wallets, where you own, you have your own private key, you own your own private key, and then then the exact same logic plays out in the long term with privacy too, because once someone open sources a blockchain analysis tool or creates an open source blockchain analysis tool, and imagine creates a Google of blockchain analysis where you can write in anyone's name or a Bitcoin address or anything, and then you can see the financial history of that person. So privacy has to be broken. There must be some kinds of either big events like this Google of blockchain analysis, or small events when individuals lose their financial privacy one by one and learn that they have to use Bitcoin privately. And again, the Bitcoin private tools, the private Bitcoin tools must be at least as good or very close to as good as the non-private counterparts. Currently, the two private Bitcoin tool is Join Market and Wasabi Wallet. We are working on Wasabi Wallet. Well, and also Chinkies. Um, maybe not yet, because they don't really seem to have liquidity. So you can't gain too much privacy. But anyway, so the where I was going with it. Oh yes, with Wasabi Wallet we try to make the product as good as other Bitcoin products, and 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 in my estimation, regarding all the problems that we encounter inherently because we are building our software in privacy in mind, uh, like we are a light wallet, but not as light as other wallets are, or coin joins are a bit more expensive, but these things has to be these things in Wasabi Wallet 2.0 is almost as almost just like any other non-privacy oriented Bitcoin wallet. So we really come close to counterbalancing all our architectural inherent limitations that we have because we want privacy. But on the other hand, on the software side, we do actually, I believe, we have the best software of all, in the sense that, sorry, on the UX side, we have the best UX of all, user experience of all. I don't want to go into why I think so highly of Wasabi 2.2's user experience, but 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 I just wanted to note that I think we actually have a competitive edge there that is not privacy, which is our user experience and UI.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so maybe we should skip the scaling for now and maybe just jump into the innovation part. So yeah, get the shorter ones out of the way.
Sure. So innovation. What's innovation? Innovation is inherently improving technologies on Wasabi, and I think the most anticipated innovation in Wasabi is Lightning Network integration. Um, um, okay, so we have a few problems with Lightning Network integration for now. One is its privacy properties. We actually have a research grant. Rafe is organizing it uh, for researching Lightning Network privacy. But we cannot implement Lightning Network without being sure about its privacy properties. So that's one thing to tackle, and another problem is the same problem that every other Lightning Network wallet has, which is the user experience. And and I have a very specific vision on user experience of Bitcoin wallets, and I think on the long term, I think these things are going to be unified. So I'm not sure I want to integrate Lightning Network into a Bitcoin wallet in a way how it's being used today. I want I want I want to abstract away the Lightning Network. I mean, you're either sending or receiving money, and you shouldn't really care which chain or which network you're using. Um, so so there are a couple of that's where contacts and pay to endpoint come in. So contacts, it's just the realization that that you are in the future, like someone is going to build this. I'm not quite sure how, but someone is going to build this that you should be able to like send money to your contacts. You should have contacts connection between wallet to wallet, and that's actually pay to endpoint, the connection between wallet to wallet. So what I'm trying to get at here is that the future user experience has to be that I select Rafa in my contact list and I send Rafa money, and it might go on chain, it might go on the Lightning Network, it would definitely not go on Coinbase, but I don't know where it's going. I just know that I'm sending money to Rafa. Maybe when I have like a huge amount of money to send to Rafa, then I might investigate it. That hey, okay, so what's the status of this transaction and things like that. Okay, so how are we getting to the Lightning Network? Why is it helpful? It's actually pay to endpoint that's helpful with the Lightning Network because with pay to endpoint and pay to endpoint, I don't. I want to talk about it very generally. Uh, by pay to endpoint, I don't mean pay joins. Those are specific coin joins. Those are facilitated with a specific type of pay to endpoint right now. But by pay to endpoint, I I mean a connection between two users, and that's it. That's it. Um, so one thing that we can assume that everyone will be online all the time. That's going to be the future state of the world. I don't know if it's 10 years or 100, but that's what's going to be. And in that case, I can ping Rafa that, hey, I want to send you money. And Rafa says, okay, or he doesn't even have to, okay. But I would be, but this connection is already built out when I want to send Rafa money. So my wallet can actually decide in the background that is it going to be pay to endpoint. Sorry, is it going to be a Lightning Network or an on-chain transaction? Right? That's what why pay to endpoint is awesome. And and but for this we need everyone to be always online, right? So that just means we still have some time to start thinking about this, and and well, these are the longest time frame, the innovation part. This is what we were doing so far. We were always innovating. We built a desktop wallet and we just made that wallet better and better and better. And now we are 5 years into it. So I think we can start scaling. And I give back the word to you, Rafa.
Hmm. No, I mean overall, I really like the idea. Like, if I imagine the future, yeah, I can't really think of like people copying and pasting some random like squabble like Bitcoin addresses here and there all the time. Like, it will probably get more convenient, and having this kind of contact list would definitely make sense, especially like whenever people actually start spinning up some kind of like lightning clients or like whatever. Like, yeah, I totally, I can see this happening. And I think you missed also the chat part. Like, after we actually have this connection between the peers, they could be sending just whatever messages just between the two of them. And yeah, like overall, if this could be done like privately, I mean, it's, yeah, sounds astonishing. But okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
may I just say why the chat is there? It's that there is a vision from David Friedman that that we can have a world of strong privacy online. But for that we need anonymous money. Well, that's what Wasabi Wallet is. Um, and we also need anonymous communication. And since the anonymous communication is basically the chat is the basic building block of anonymous communication. That's what I mean. So because because pay to endpoint basically does exactly that. The chat would be a really low hanging fruit after pay to endpoint is done, right? Or while pay to endpoint is being done. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a private peer to peer chat basically. And again, just to come back to some of my points that if everyone is always online at all times, then that's the anonymity net. So right now we kind of don't have a private peer-to-peer chat software because we are encrypting and then it goes to some server and okay, that's encrypted, but what I want to say here is that the always online, everyone always online trend that I think we can count on is going to enable us to build simpler anonymity systems that works much better. So that's the idea there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Mm, yeah, maybe we should then just jump back into like the mobile stuff. What do you think? Like, how far is it actually, and like, what are the biggest obstacles to getting that done?
All right. So regarding mobile wallets currently, there is basically two places where we can look at mobile wallets privacy scheme. One is the network level privacy, and the other one is the blockchain level
Blockchain level? Yeah.
privacy. And and the thing is that on network level privacy, well, there is a Wasabi iOS fork called Chain Case. That's just as good as Wasabi, so that's great. But it's beta, and I don't. It doesn't work that well just now. But there is that. But it's not that popular, so I'm not gonna talk about that now. On the network level privacy, as far as I know, Breeze Wallet is the only one that might got the network level privacy right because he's using the same technology that Wasabi Wallet is using, which is client-side filtering technology. Amazon not going to talk about the wallets that you tie to your full node that's running at home because well I because that's like such a small percentage of users who's gonna do such setup. So wallets, those are on the mobile. That's what we're talking about. And on the blockchain level privacy, there is only one wallet that right? There is only one wallet. Yes, there is only one wallet that's trying to do something about it, which is Samurai Wallet. They are using Whirlpool. They are. I do not believe they are doing a good job. Let's leave it with that. So now the question is that will there be a mobile wallet for iOS and for Android that has great user experience, gets network and blockchain level privacy right? And if the answer is negative, then we will create these wallets. And um, I'm not sure it would be too difficult to do so. Um, we certainly have the expertise, and yeah, basically, is it will there be anyone who any mobile wallet who satisfies the needs of the market or not? That's the question for us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I do think that it makes a lot of sense to like focus on the mobile part. Like, since we already have established that like sufficient and good overall privacy can only be uh, like gained whenever a big amount of people actually use the wallet, and like big part of the people who actually need privacy are only relying on mobile connections and like mobile internet and hence mobile wallet. So in that sense, yeah, definitely, like we want to have as many people as possible using good privacy tools. So focusing on mobile in that sense makes sense. But I do agree, like, um, well, like maybe the hardest part is just to get the developers to do a good job with it. But yeah, that's something that I don't think we can't actually uh, like miss. We will have to probably do it ourselves. I can't expect others to do it. So yeah. All right. Then yeah, we already mentioned a little bit about the like localization, but yeah, do you have anything more about that? I do think that that makes sense too. We have to get as big of a reach as possible.
Yeah, localization is necessary, right? There are many people who don't speak English, and that's a problem using an English wallet. So there is that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do agree. What do you think? Like, probably the localization should come only after the mobile wallet is out there.
Hmm. So that's so what's the reason for that statement? The reason is that because if we would translate the wallet to German now, then we would have to later translate the mobile wallet for German too. Um, so does it make sense to start with the mobile wallet and then we only translate once, right? You hire a translator once to do all the job instead of twice to do two jobs. So another way to look at it would be that localization isn't that difficult. It's a it's not much of a software development job. It's you have some small initial software development phase where you enable the localization for the application, and from there on it's just finding people who speak languages and cross check them, or I'm not quite sure how that's done, but research that how that's done, and it's not a very difficult thing to do. So and it doesn't take up much developer resources. So huh. So someone who is not a developer can do that. So this is something that we could well we don't need to like spend the developers time on it too much. So maybe we could even do
Mhm.
it earlier than a mobile.
I mean, in my opinion, we could already do it. Probably anyway, the desktop translation would be completely a different project than the mobile translation. Just as, like, for example, a website translation or whatever, they could be considered as a separate projects. Then again, in my opinion, the most difficult part is actually maintaining it. Like, even if we like get every like a lot of people to contribute to make the initial whatever translation, whenever we actually want to change anything, that would require us updating also the other the manuals of like all the text, yeah, for other languages, which might take a little bit more time. But overall, I think it would be an improvement, and it's a like open source project. So I don't know, like I think if anyone is actually really ambitious and like responsible and willing to put a lot of effort doing so and coordinating something like that, yeah, I wouldn't say maybe no to it. I mean, translating to 2.0 for some other languages already. Maybe it's a little bit too early now, but yeah. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, maybe we should jump
It's
on
too
to
early.
the. Yeah,
It's too early now because now things are changing, still changing rapidly, right?
yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like whenever we get the actual like final main release, well, not final, but like a steady mainnet release out, maybe then that could be done, the translation project. But yeah, before that, it's not something that anyone should consider. But yeah, let's jump into the B2B. So yeah, there we have a lot of stuff. You want to give it like an overview? What is the point of this section?
Yep. So one thing that we noticed is that more and more businesses are coming to us that they would like to integrate coin joins, and and it's an interesting topic from many point of view. It's much more different than the previous ones. First of all, we have no experience with this. We have experience with user-facing product, but we don't have experience with a business-facing product. That's one thing. The other thing is that it's a risky game to play from the point of view of privacy, because if there is a business that integrates Wasabi Wallet and have a lot more volume for that business than Wasabi Wallet users actually do, that could be a huge privacy leak. But we can go case by case carefully. You might see that there is something censored there with Rafael censored the businesses. Those were showing more interests than or more commitment than others did. So I just put up the. Yeah, anyway, that's the censored comment. It's censored, guys. You're not allowed to look at it. Okay, so the problem is with the business is that everyone wants very unique things, and it's a lot of things to do. So these are just a couple of things that can have for businesses to use Wasabi. We can have an RPC, daemon. We actually have these, but never mind. We have to have better ones. Documentation, writing documentation for all kinds of developer tools is important. Guides, tutorials to them. So basically, we are building for developers at this point, not really businesses, but actually it's developers are the end users of Wasabi. So yeah, that's the business part, and I do think we shouldn't get too hung up on the business to business things. But eventually we will do that, right? I do think if you're looking at it from the point of view that we want to deliver as much privacy as possible in as little time, then maybe other scaling categories would have a higher priority because again the business to business categories is kind of gamble there, right?
Yeah, I understand like many of the concerns regarding this, but then again, the idea in itself, is, in my opinion, is really good. The actual technical like details on how to do it, well, that has to be researched much more. But overall, like many other wallets being able to integrate Wabi-Sabi coin joins uh, in their own wallet as a different section while building another whatever different kind of UI or like wallet that they want. And yeah, that would enable like privacy scaling a lot. So in that sense, yeah, I think it's a good idea and something that we should definitely like work on.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be at the basics there, right? Because, for example, we made sure that we can do revenue sharing with other entities. So, for example, if a wallet integrates CoinJoins, then we can we can identify how much volume their users did uh, in summary altogether, and this is in a private way. So but with that information, we can actually have a revenue sharing deal with other companies. So this is certainly something that we are trying to build the basics out for this for the future.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great for many of the current open source Bitcoin wallet projects that are currently not profiting anything to be able to just integrate Wabi Sabi and actually start earning a bit of a bit of Bitcoin revenue um, as a part of this revenue sharing with from Wabi Sabi coin joins.
And maybe one more thing is that so maybe the best would be if we would try to cover all the use cases at first, and that's when we move on to the business to business part, because then we won't have to worry about the privacy. So, for example, if we would have a deal right now with Blue Wallet, we probably wouldn't have to worry about the privacy of Wasabi users because Blue Wallet users would have such a small percentage. But if we would have a deal with Electrum, then well, that could be a problem for Wasabi Wallet users in terms of privacy, based on the way that they will implement it. So
Mm-hmm.
so what I'm trying to go at it is that if we try to cover all the largest use cases at first, then we will even not have to like be vary of Electrum or anything because probably Wasabi users are going to be the largest groups of people in the mixes, and therefore the privacy won't suffer even if another wallet would send some users there.
Yep. I mean, it would still be sad even if it's like really low amount of users that actually would, let's say, like use whatever other wallet. Like if that wallet markets itself that it provides privacy, but actually like it uses Wabi Sabi CoinJoin but leaks all the users' XPub to whatever wallet provider server, that would be like well, it's not Wasabi or like Wabi-Sabi's fault, but still something that we should be careful with, like who to actually cooperate on this. Like who can we trust that actually provides good network level privacy to their users?
Yep, exactly. It has to be thought about much more carefully before we do something stupid here in the business to business category.
Yep, understood. And yeah, how about the hardware wallets? There's basically the same problem, but yeah, at least there's not that many hardware wallet companies.
No, it's not the same problem at all. It's a
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do get what you mean, but it's not like we could have users, of course, using the hardware wallets to do a coin join in Wasabi with the hardware wallet integration. But overall, what I meant is that it's hard to actually cooperate with these companies and their basic like software. That's something that, well, has a lot of privacy issues in all of them.
yes, yes. So, okay, a couple of things. The end goal is that hardware hardware wallets should be able to natively coin join. Now, let's put that aside because we can do stuff with it without doing the end goal yet. Well, one thing that we can do is that we can actually just improve the existing hardware wallet integrations. Maybe add some more. I don't know. Maybe there are more hardware wallets. Those got become popular since we integrated R3, right? Trezor Ledger and Cold Card. So that's something we can work on. We just make everything better, and by doing that, we gain some experience and brace ourselves for the big work. Okay. New hardware wallet integrations. I did talk about that. Coin join of hardware wallet through temporary hot wallet. This is this is I think something big and easy. So it doesn't come up very often because it's not as exciting as coin joining with hardware wallets, but it can. I think it can come really close to that user experience with some security compromise compared to coin joining with hardware wallets. So the idea here is that we reduce the number of clicks on the on the user interface for the following procedure. And the procedure is that the user would send some money into the user would okay. The user have a hardware wallet connected to his Wasabi wallet, and the user has money in it. So the user now want to coin join those money. Currently, they can't. But what we can do is we can create a temporary hot wallet, or the user creates it, doesn't matter. We can create a temporary hot wallet that the user sends the money there, and that hot wallet automatically coin joins back to the hardware wallet. So if we can do this with the minimum required with the minimum required clicks on the screen, then I think we can come to a very close user experience to coin joining with hardware wallets natively. And when we have this, then this works for all the hardware wallets, right? Because this is a workaround. And when we got this, then we can start moving to talk to Trezor and talk to Coldcard and talk to uh, maybe even Blockstream if Blockstream Jade by then becomes integrated to Wasabi, and then we can make this hardware wallet coin joinable. We figure out exactly how to do that, Actually, Trezor is pioneering this, so that's something we are paying attention right now. So anyway, that's when we should do native coin joins with hardware wallets, and I think this is important. I think this is very important.
Okay. I actually like, I kind of do think that it's important, but then again, in my opinion, I don't feel that it's like one of the most important things. First of all, like just because it's efficiency improvement in the end, like one extra, uh, well, like it's a UX improvement, of course, but yeah. Anyway, like it's not that big in my opinion, and especially when
May
thinking
I
that,
challenge you on that?
of course.
But please finish it first.
Okay, yeah, maybe. All right, we should be back now. Yeah, so what I was saying is that one thing to also consider about the hardware wallets is that uh, there seems to be a lot of new hardware wallets that actually use QR codes and not the traditional ones that are connected with cable. And that makes many things much more complicated. Overall, like I do think that this is something that we should focus on, but I don't see it as high of a priority compared to other things that we've mentioned here. But
Okay,
yes, do
so
please challenge me.
consider this. What does success mean for Bitcoin privacy? The larger, the more coins are coin joined, the more fungible, more private Bitcoin is. Makes sense?
Yeah, I do know
So,
what you mean.
you know where I'm going with it?
Yeah, I do know, and I do agree with that point. That's the part
Let,
where I
let,
do
let,
agree.
let me finish it then before.
Yep, go ahead.
So the point here is that the many bitcoins are stored in hardware wallets, and the more of those bitcoins are being coin joined, the better for Bitcoin's fungibility and anonymity is. Therefore, I can imagine that hardware wallet integration results in more coin joining than a mobile wallet integration would, right? So
Hmm.
that equation kind of suggests that, hey, hardware wallet integration, you would create more value in this world if you would do that first, right?
Yeah, kind of. Like I do understand the reasoning behind it. Like the bigger amount of coins are actually considered coin join, the better it is for privacy. Then again, in mobile side, it's more like the more people that there are coin joining, the better it is for privacy. I think it's like both are valid arguments, and yeah, it's just a matter of prioritization. Both should be considered.
So so let me challenge you on that too, uh, because you're bringing up that, hey, so what's better, the number of people or the number of value? And
Hmm.
I do think the number of value is, because if you consider that I have 100 Bitcoin and you have only one Bitcoin, and we coin join our Bitcoins, and the outputs will be 101 Bitcoin, then your one Bitcoin output is much more anonymous than if you would have like even though you only joined together your coins with one person, because that one person is so big that you have 100 place. He provides a lot more anonymity for you.
Yeah, I get it. So everyone gets out and 1 Bitcoin out, but then yeah, definitely the 100 Bitcoin whale is much more useful. And I mean, I get it. Like overall, yeah, I have nothing against this, and like it's good if we can actually make it easier for people to use hardware wallets with Wasabi and make coin joining easier. All right. Well, I think that was all of the parts. Is there something else? Maybe something that we missed?
No, we looked at everything.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Overall, I mean, like, this was something that got me really excited when I heard about these plans. And that was something that made me realize the actual like scale and the overall like the plans for the future of Wasabi Wallet. It's not even just about like Bitcoin related things. Like there's localization and like all this pay to endpoint and chat and all these kind of things like that we should work on. And yeah, overall it gives a better view of what we are doing and what we're aiming for. And
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
hopefully.
really like to share this because it's always changing and well, like these are plans in the not for the next month. Therefore, as we are walking towards our journey on Bitcoin privacy, we are learning new things all the time, and as we are learning, or as I am learning new things, I'm constantly evolving these plans, right?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, and that's kind of like part of the innovation. You have to keep up with all the newest trends and everything. But yeah, hopefully this video will also provide some insights for others, and yeah, maybe it will help realize the scope of the project and the bigger goals. But yeah, I think
That's well
that's
said.
everything. Yeah. All
Well,
right.
thank you, Rafa, for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Adam, for explaining this. All right. See ya.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.